Okay, welcome back to the channel, Boulder Pain Relief Massage here in Boulder, Colorado. This is Lao Kemper, taking a moment to answer a common question, which is, why do I have neck pain at the end of my day, sitting at a desk or working or even looking at my phone? A lot of people are dealing with this, and it's a challenging problem, and it's too common. So a little bit of understanding for this is, to keep it simple, a lot of us don't realize that this head weighs something. Our head has mass. Weighs anywhere between 10 to 20 pounds for adults, depending on the person. And some considerations around this: I try not to use the term posture when I'm working with people. Most of us think of posture as kind of rigid, bracing, not breathing, kind of very tight. Instead, I encourage people to think about, and here's an image to think about as we're talking about this, that our body has a design, that the neck has a really critical function. This is looking at it as a cross section, this top image here, and this is looking at it sideways, or the sagittal section. And there's some very critical things passing through our neck. Not only do we have muscles, but we have major blood vessels, our trachea and esophagus, which is moving air and our food and water through them. These are very important. And so instead of thinking about posture as upright, bracing, tight, we're trying to think about, what is the shape that I can make with my neck that allows my body to do its job with the greatest ease. So that's one way of thinking about that. And so since the head has mass, and I'll give some credit to the engineers that have come and seen me to help with this term, some physics that has been described regarding the neck and this center mass shifting is that when this 10 to 20 pounds is nice and stacked on top of my spine, the muscles that are holding it here really don't have to do very much. They're basically kind of at rest. But as soon as my head starts coming forward, then I start asking a lot of those muscles. And then many of us are spending time with our head way in front of our body, looking down at our phones, if I exaggerate, and if we're looking down at our tech or working on our laptop from our couch, a lot of times our neck is over here, which is actually requesting that these muscles are on almost the entire day. And so it's easy to forget, but our head has a good amount of mass. As soon as that center mass shifts forward, that's called the moment, as it's been described to me in physics. As soon as that center mass shifts forward, then we have an additional 10 pounds of load effort every single inch that this head comes forward. So if we're saying the head weighs 20 pounds and I come forward an additional 2 inches, we're talking about these muscles holding, sometimes static with some stress, 40 pounds of effort. That's a lot. And so if the head can come back, that makes it a lot easier for those muscles and tends to dramatically reduce the frequency of tension to the neck, limitation with turning, or cervicogenic headaches, or headaches that are originating out of the cervical neck. And so one thing that I recommend to people, if you're struggling with this issue regarding neck pain, and it's a frequent kind of concern for you, is thinking about a mirror off to your right angle or left angle, as far as perpendicular to which way you face your work. So if you're looking at something this direction, placing a mirror off to your side here so that you can see when your body starts shifting forward, really engaging in your tasks and maybe getting a little bit more engrossed. And so when that happens, our head comes really far forward. If we can notice that, and sometimes we can't feel that, a lot of us can't feel that, but if we can see it, it builds in a very effective feedback loop that does two things. One, most of us don't like how that shape looks. It's not a look we want in pictures or in images as we're walking down the street with our friends or partners. And because of that, if we see that shape that doesn't look good, and we realize that that shape is actually causing you pain, you become very motivated to bring the head back on top of the spine. So I hope that answers this question as far as, why do we frequently have neck pain or headaches at the end of the day? And if you can bring the head nice and back on top of your spine, it's a lot less effort for those muscles, and you should feel significant improvement very quickly. Any more questions, please leave them in the comment box. Please subscribe to the channel if you find this interesting. And if you'd like some questions answered, please leave those in the comments as well. All right, have a great day.